So last year I became a surrogate mother. It was honestly something I've always wanted to do before I even had children. So before I started just going online doing my research until I had a patient that recommended me to go to her agency. With that, I started with the process of just filling out the application. Once the application got approved, they asked for my medical records for myself as well as my hospital transfer for my children. Once everything was, medical clearance was clear, they started with the arrangement of setting me up with an intended parents. And after I did get a match within like 1 week, we met first on FaceTime. After that, it was in person. So the next step, I had to meet with a therapist. The therapist was about an hour long. They just asked me a couple of questions just so, I'm mentally, emotional, and physically aware of what's going to happen, once I got approved with that. So after that, I did a whole screening panel where they checked my STDs as well as my fallopian tube, my uterus, and once all of that was clear, I started the IVS process, which in the beginning I did have to inject myself with hormones. It was twice a day, every day for about a month. And then after that, once my body was, prepared, they scheduled a day for the embryo transfer. That was actually really cool to see because they had a video where it showed, my uterus and they inject the embryo. After that, I was in bed rest for about 4 days, and in 2 days, like house arrest. I wasn't able to go anywhere. And then after the week of the transfer, I took a home pregnancy test. It came back positive. And then the first 12 weeks of pregnancy, I had to still stay at the IVS facility where they would do weekly ultrasounds. And after the 12 weeks, they transferred me to my regular OBGYN. So overall, my whole process of becoming a surrogate mother, everything was, it was very, very smooth for me. No complications. With attendant parents, they didn't expect so much from me, like with my diet. They weren't so strict about that. They said, well, you've been pregnant before twice, so, we trust you. So I still ate like what I would eat, still healthy. And then with exercising, same thing. Only the first 12 weeks when I was pregnant, they did say no exercising as well as no intercourse, no jacuzzi. So just like that. But after that, my body, they said, okay, well, everything, you can do, you know what you can. But other than that, though, everything was very smooth throughout my whole process. So the benefits for me of becoming a surrogate mother was, of course, helping a family, as well as I did like being pregnant, so that was a plus for me. And of course, the agency and the attended parents do help you financially as well. So some of the risk of becoming a surrogate mother can be just like a normal pregnancy. Of course, every pregnancy does have their risk. But one of them can also be being emotionally attached to the baby or developing postpartum. Also, during the IVS process, you do inject yourself with medication, so sometimes a lot of people also might have side effects with the medication, just depending on everyone's body. But of course, becoming a surrogate is a big commitment.